Have you ever had that moment where you suddenly realize, wait, not everyone does this? As autistic adults, we often go through life thinking our experiences are just normal human things. And honestly, that's probably why my kids' autism didn't register straight away, because they were just like me. It wasn't until I got my own diagnosis that I started connecting the dots and realizing so many things I thought were normal were actually autistic things. So in this video, I want to talk about the 6 things autistic adults think are normal, but actually aren't. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If I could ask you to please hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, it really helps the channel and our community grow. Number 1, constant exhaustion after social interactions. So let's start with something that still catches me out. The sheer exhaustion that comes after socializing. You know, that post-social hangover when you've been out maybe to dinner with friends or a family thing, and when you get home, you're absolutely wrecked. Like your body battery is flashing red, and even the idea of talking feels impossible. For most of my life, I thought that was just what being social was like for everyone. But apparently most neurotypical people don't need a full recovery day afterward. They actually feel energized by social interaction. For me, it's the opposite. I have to prepare. I always have a nap or completely rest the whole day before an event. And when I say event, I don't actually mean anything huge. I mean just like going out to dinner or meeting up with a few people. I need that rest to have the energy to socialize. So I guess to me, it really is an event. And it's not because I don't like people. Most of the time I do. It's just that socializing takes so much effort. You're constantly monitoring your tone, expressions, when to speak, how to react. You're filtering out background noise, lights, and smells, and it's all so much input at once. So by the time it's over, my nervous system is fried. So when I get home, I usually need silence. No talking, no music, no people, just quiet. And that's not being antisocial. It's just what recovery looks like for me. And once I realized that not everyone feels that level of burnout from a simple dinner, it made sense why I'd been so tired all the time. Number 2, rehearsing conversations. So this one is a big one for me, and I think a lot of autistic people, that you rehearse conversations in your head before anything even happens. I used to think everyone did this before making a phone call, ordering coffee, or anticipating bumping into someone at the shops. I'd run through the whole thing in my head. If they say this, then I'm going to say that. It's like preloading a script, and honestly, it's exhausting. And that's how my brain manages uncertainty. It's my way of making sure I don't get caught off guard or say the wrong thing. And it's funny because even though my husband is ADHD, I marvel at how he communicates so easily with people. He just walks into a room and instantly knows what to say. He knows how to make people laugh, how to put them at ease, and it just seems so effortless for him. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there mentally running through about 5 possible responses to every question. That's the thing. Neurotypical people often don't plan conversations in their head like that. They just talk. Their communication feels natural, where ours often feels like a performance. Number 3, sensory avoidance and seeking it without realizing it. So when we talk about the sensory stuff, this one goes way back for me. I remember so clearly as a kid going with my parents to their friend's house for dinner. I was so used to my mum's food, and she knew what I liked and what textures I could and couldn't handle. We sat down to eat, and I was already so nervous anticipating what I was going to be served. And it ended up being some sort of pasta dish, and I completely freaked out. I couldn't eat it. My mum knew, and she tried to comfort me the best way she could. But the host made a big deal about why I wasn't eating, and I just remember running off and crying from the stress. To everyone else, I probably looked like a spoiled brat. But inside, it was just genuine panic. Even now, as an adult, trying food I haven't had before can make my throat feel like it's closing up, and I have to take a deep breath to calm myself enough to swallow. And I just can't stand any kind of fat in my mouth. A steak, a pie, mince. My plate just ends up looking like a battlefield of spat out bits. That will never change. And that's the thing. For years, I thought everyone had those intense sensory preferences. And it turns out that's very much an autistic thing. Like, I've always stimmed. That's something I never realized was different either. I make up little songs and sing them around the house. It helps regulate me. And yes, I do still flap my hands when I'm overwhelmed or excited. It's comforting. So much of sensory regulation becomes so normal to us, we don't even realize we're doing it. It's just how we survive the sensory chaos of the world. Number 4, missing subtext or hidden meanings. Here's another one, missing social subtext. I always thought I was good at this. I mean, I get sarcasm, I love humor, and I can be pretty witty, or at least I think I can. But the truth is, I still misread people all the time. Sometimes I think someone's insulted me when they haven't. Oftentimes I completely miss that someone's joking or being sarcastic, and then I take it seriously. It can be embarrassing, but mostly it's confusing. There's been so many moments where I've had to turn to my husband and ask, did I read that right? Were they rude or am I overthinking it? Half of the time I'm relieved when he tells me I got it wrong, because at least I can laugh about it. That's the tricky part. Autistic people often interpret things literally. We don't always pick up on the tone or subtle shifts in expressions, so we rely on words, and if the words sound harsh, we take them at face value. It's not that we don't understand emotions, it's just that we process them differently. And once I realized not everyone has to double check their understanding after every social situation, it made sense that I'd always felt like I was playing catch up. Number 5, thinking everyone masks. Before I was diagnosed at 41, I didn't even know what masking was. It turns out I was a master of it. I'd spent my entire life performing a version of myself that I thought people wanted to see, copying how others talked, laughed, even stood. I'd overanalyze everything, how much eye contact to make, how to sound friendly but not too weird. It was like running a constant background program, but since my diagnosis, I can't mask like I used to. It's like my brain just said, nope, we're just not pretending anymore. And honestly, I didn't realize how loud I am until the unmasked me started making an appearance when we were out. Now I catch myself blurting out things, talking too fast, laughing loudly, basically just being myself. And it's both freeing and uncomfortable at the same time. It's something I'm still kind of learning to do when I'm out and being okay with it. Because for years, masking was my safety net. But it was also why I was constantly exhausted, anxious, and unsure of who I really was underneath it all. Learning that not everyone masks and that some people just exist comfortably as themselves without thinking about it. Wow, that was such a revelation. It made me understand why I'd spent decades feeling like I was running a marathon while everyone else was just strolling through. Number 6, thinking everyone struggles with transitions or routine changes. Now that's another thing I always thought was completely normal. How deeply I struggle with change. I always assumed everyone felt that spike of panic when plans suddenly changed, like when someone cancels last minute or decides to switch restaurants or a schedule gets moved around. But for me, it's not just mild disappointment, it's a full body stress response. If I've mentally prepared for something, even something small, and it changes unexpectedly, it feels like my brain has to completely reboot. It's disorientating. I can't just go with the flow the way other people seem to. Even transitions between tasks can throw me off. Like I'll be hyper-focusing editing a video and someone will ask what I want for lunch, and it's like my brain just freezes. I need time to switch gears, otherwise I get snappy or overwhelmed and then I feel guilty for reacting that way. For a long time, I thought that was just part of being a human, that everyone secretly hated sudden changes but just handled it better. Turns out, no. That level of distress and rigidity is part of how autistic brains try to create safety in a world that often feels unpredictable and chaotic. Routine gives us control, and when that's disrupted, our nervous system goes into overdrive. It's not stubbornness, it's protection, and once I realized that not everyone needs that same structure to feel okay, it made so much sense as to why I've always craved routine so much. So if you've ever had that realization of, wait, not everyone does this, you're not weird and you're definitely not broken. You're probably autistic, and the things you thought were just quirks or normal human experiences were actually your brain working hard to navigate a world that wasn't built for it. I'd love to know, what's something that you thought was normal but later realized was an autistic thing? Drop it in the comments below. I read them all and I love seeing how much our stories overlap. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. It really helps more autistic adults and parents find this community. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.